Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Today I am going to talk about R.N. Ravi, Governor R.N. Ravi, Governor of Tamil Nadu. R.N. Ravi. Now R.N. Ravi has managed to constantly get himself into some controversy or another. Most of them not very good. Most of them, to my mind, to my opinion, not befitting a governor of a state. But this gentleman has constantly been successful enough to be into some controversy or another. Today we are going to talk about a statement that he made in Hindu Dharma Vidya Peetham in Tiruvattar, where he says that secularism has come from distant lands in the West. He says it has nothing to do with India. Secularism is nothing to do with India. ये कोई बाहर का Western concept है. Let's talk about that. Let's get right into the show. You see, when people like R.N. Ravi makes statements, I think we should be analyzing every word what he says, because statements can be made, but somewhere down the line what we need to understand is how meaningful those statements are. And unfortunately, you see, governors in India normally till quite recently were people who are of very high stature. That doesn't mean I am saying Mr. R.N. Ravi is of low stature. I don't say yes, I don't say no, but I am saying that governors were of very high stature, so a lot of things that governors said, people took it seriously. So my endeavor today is to understand this one statement that he made, and let us try and kind of break this statement and find out how true this statement is or not. That you decide, as always. I will leave the decision to you. Okay, so Mr. R.N. Ravi, the governor of Tamil Nadu, says that in Europe, secularism came because there was a fight between the church and the king. He says, how can India be away from dharma? He says secularism is a European concept and let it be there. In India, we don't need secularism. He says, in Europe, secularism arose out of conflict between the church and the state, but in India, there is no need for such division. Dharma has always guided us, our way. This is what he says. Now, like I said, let us divide his entire statement, Mr. R.N. Ravi's entire statement, into three parts. ठीक है ना? बराबर सीखेंगे, बराबर सच समझेंगे. Let us understand it very clearly. Governor hai Baba, what he said we should understand, no? So let us understand it very clearly. If you divide his sentence, there are three major factors. One, he talks about the definition of secularism. And he says secularism comes from West. Definition of secularism, and secularism comes from the West. Okay. Second, he talks about the concept of church versus the king. He says secularism came to being because of the conflict between the church and the king. That is the point number 2. Point number 3, he speaks about dharma. He says, apna dharma hai na, we will follow dharma. Why are we bothered about secularism? 3 points. ठीक है ना? Let's first discuss secularism and the meaning of secularism. Let's first understand the concept of secularism. ठीक है ना? ये Western concept, Indian. Let's understand the meaning of secularism. The meaning of secularism, predominantly, whether it is West or whether it is India, let us take the Western concept for starters. In the West, secularism generally refers to the separation of religion from government, and it promotes the idea that religion should not interfere with or involved in the state political decisions, education, legal system, etc. मतलब religion अलग, state अलग, governance अलग. This is what the clear definition of secularism is in the West. ठीक है ना? Now, unlike what our learned governor says, secularism in India is no different. The word secularism and socialism was added into our constitution by Mrs. Indira Gandhi in 1976. It was added to our constitution, and the meaning of the word secularism according to our constitution is secularism in India, Indian constitution means that the state is neutral and does not favor any one religion. It also means, let me put this clearly, it also means that the state does not interfere with religion and all religions are treated equally. Which means what? Which means the state is different to the religion. West में क्या बोलता है? The state is different to the religion. India में क्या बोलता है? The state is different to the religion. How is it two different, Baba? How is it two different? You see, when you are making such statements, you have to clarify it. You have to be clear. How are they two different? They are the same words and the meaning almost is the same. ठीक है. In a Western perspective, I do not disagree that the church and the religion didn't have problems in the Western perspective, and therefore I guess they spoke about secularism from a king versus church perspective, from a pope versus the Roman king perspective. I can understand that. India, our needs were different. So here it was all religions are same and the state will not interfere. There the king and the state will not interfere with the religion. The concept is the same because the situation were different. Situation in England was different or situation in West was different to the situation in India. So obviously the circumstances were different but the meaning of secularism remains the same. How is it too different? How can it be a Western term? How can it be a Western term? This is the question I ask. Now let me get to another point which he says conflict between the king and the religion. While it has been a Western term, but let me ask Mr. R.N. Ravi, Governor R.N. Ravi, earlier on we didn't see it. But now, lo behold, we are seeing seers against the king. In our case, the king is the Prime Minister of India. Remember Shankaracharya Mukteswaranand's statement? He categorically said, let the government do government's job, not interfere in religion. Let religious people do religion's job. We will not interfere in our government. If you interfere in religion, we will interfere in government. Isn't this a conflict? So how is India different? How are you saying that India is different? Our context is different. Our context used to be different. I agree. But our context is no longer different. We are also getting somewhere there. Do you know that Shankaracharyas, two of them, didn't participate in the Ram Janmabhoomi consecration? The Ram temple consecration, two Shankaracharya didn't participate. What was that? Wasn't that conflict between the government, the governance, the king and the religion? The religious heads? In West it was church and the king. Here it is the Prime Minister and the religious heads, Shankaracharyas. What is it different? How are we different? What are you saying that no, we don't need all this? We are going to need all this. We are going the same route. So point number 2. Point number 3, he says, we have the dharma. Why do we need all this secularism? We have dharma. Achha, what exactly does dharma mean? Let us understand that. You see, people use words so loosely, especially when it comes to Sanatan words. People use it very loosely. Okay, you see, dharma, let me give you the exact definition of dharma. Dharma is a complex and multifaceted concept deep-rooted in Indian religion like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism. Its meaning varies depending on the context, but it generally refers to moral duty, righteousness, law and cosmic order. So per se, dharma is different. It varies to various religion and various people who follow it. The concept of dharma itself is dynamic. Let us be very clear of understanding whether we understood what he said or is he understanding what he said. That is something that we should be clear of. So this is as far as dharma is concerned. Dharma varies for different sects, for different religion. Number 1. Number two is, from the time we have these people who talks about Sanatan Dharma, saving Sanatan Dharma, the maximum hits have been seen during this period. Our laddus were laced with beef fat, with pork fat. And we are supposed to be Sanatan Dharma. We are supposed to be the protector of Sanatan Dharma. Under our nose they did it. Whoever did it. And we didn't even know. The government of the day when this was happening, I am told, that is the YSRP, was a friendly government to the NDA, to the actual Dharma Rakshaks, that is Bharatiya Janata Party. They were friendly. RSS, Bharatiya Janata Party, all friendly, this government, YSRP. What dharma are you talking about? What religion are you talking about? What protection are you talking about? What saving are you talking about? And what following of dharma are we talking about? Lot of lip service. We will follow our dharma. There is nothing called as secularism. All of that, a lot of people say. But actually following it, actually helping, actually doing something for the dharma, I have hardly seen anybody doing it, Papa. Let us be very clear about it. So this is what my take on Mr. R.N. Ravi, Governor R.N. Ravi is, and what his statement he made. You please decide, look, based on whatever little I analyzed and told you, you decide, you put your analysis in place, write down in the comment box below, let me know what you think, and we'll discuss further. Okay, na? So that's one. Before I end, you see, we got tremendous response from you, both in 2024 elections and even the state elections that we covered before. This time around, your little channel wants to strive and wants to take a few big steps. We want to cover Maharashtra well because we believe that we can do that. We believe that we have the infrastructure, we have the know-how, we have the experience of covering Maharashtra. We want to cover the Maharashtra elections. Now, for us to cover the Maharashtra elections, we need some funds. We need some money. We need around 5 to 6 lakh of rupees. I would urge our patrons, I would urge our viewers who appreciate our work, viewers who think we are worth that, I would urge you to contribute. I would urge you to contribute to this venture. Give us that 6 lakhs so that our journalist can go to nook and corner of Maharashtra, find out exactly what the problem of Maharashtra is, find out exactly what the farmers are facing, which is what I really want to find out. That is the reason I'm getting into this venture. That is the reason I'm getting into this venture. What is our farmer really facing? And what can we do to help? And how is that farmer crisis or farmer despair going to make a difference to our election? I also want to look into the Mukhyamantri Maji Ladki Bahin Yojana and how has it percolated, how many people have got the money, so on and so forth. So we really want to, this time around, get, like I said, deep dive into Maharashtra. We think we will start with the state of Maharashtra. Need your help. Do help us. And till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.